How did IT security change in your view over the past decade?
It's changing very much based on the cyber criminals' activities. At the moment it is the business for, let's say, bad people. They have more and more benefits, more and more money from the cyber crime, so they can invest a lot in new techniques that bypass our safeguards. And also the security world in appropriate way should respond to the changing situation. And this response means more and more advanced protection techniques, the techniques that not only look at the protected safeguards, but also look at the entire environment, looking for anomalies, looking for behaviors that indicate the existence or presence of cyber criminals. In this way, we can appropriately respond to the potential threat, potential risks. I also see that the GDPR and NIS directive, that is in our region, in European Union, it is the new cyber security law, also influenced the security posture of our society, that people responsible for the security in organization, the decision makers, are treating security in appropriate way according to new requirements.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you mentioned technology. What role does technology play in increasing the security? What type of technologies need to be used or are currently used?
Oh, it's changing. It's changing because, let's say, 5 years ago, we mostly concentrated on the safeguards, that we will implement very advanced firewalls, that we implement very advanced anti-malware system. Now we understand that every safeguard could be broken. It's a matter of money, it's a matter of time that cyber criminals would be able to bypass any security. So we emphasize the role of incident detection. Incident detection in the means that it is not attack detection, it is not malware detection. It is the detection of the situation when the safeguards, intrusion prevention system, anti-malware, the safeguards were broken, and we have cyber criminals inside our network. So it is the new role of incident detection systems. Also the tools like security operations management, the tools that automate and orchestrate the work, the tasks conducted by people. The tools are extremely useful and beneficial for the companies because they allow to people work in an effective way. There are a lot of alerts in the security system, a lot of situations that require appropriate analysis, triage, investigation. And if we have thousands of alerts, we are not able to provide appropriate deep investigation for all of them. So we need the tools, for example, GRC tools, it's the acronym of Governance, Risk Management and Compliance, GRC tools that should be integrated with the other tools and focus the attention of people on the most important elements, the critical systems, not critical from the technology point of view, but critical from the business point of view. The systems that support the most important business processes, the systems that process sensitive data, like personal data, like intellectual property, and so on. If we see an alert that touches the important systems from the business point of view, the people responsible for security management should immediately react, because it is the risk for the business of the organization. The business damage could occur if we do not conduct appropriate response on time in an appropriate way.
And how do you define the appropriate response to the attacks? Because sometimes you don't know what to expect, so you have to expect the unexpected, but how to prepare for that?
The analytical tools can provide you the accurate information what happened. If we have such analytical tools, if we are not blind and if we do not believe what resellers are telling us, because you know the salespeople would always sell us the simplest solution like CM, and they will tell you that CM solution is the incident detection, and many people still believe that we will buy CM and we'll have incident detection. The real analytics is required. It's called network behavior analytics or user behavior analytics. It is at the moment the only technology that is able effectively detect the cyber criminals, because cyber criminals, for them the cybercrime is the business, is the money, so they invest a lot and they know the ways to bypass the safeguards. They know the ways to invade the safeguards, the protections, and they know the ways to hide in the network. So we need really analytical systems, not based on some manual correlation rules, but based on advanced mathematics, on machine learning, for example, to detect the presence of cyber criminals in our network. And if we believe that cyber criminals are smart, and if we invest in appropriate tools, the tools could provide us additional information. I've mentioned the GRC tools. It is the business impact. When analyzing the incidents, the alerts, the newly discovered vulnerabilities, we should have in mind immediately what is the business impact. I will explain it to you in a metaphorical way. If you go to a hospital, if the doctor look at you, look at potential or real symptoms of your diseases, should the doctor analyze the life impact? Obviously. So also the security analyst looking at incident also should analyze the business impact, because the security is not for, let's say, IT systems. Security is for the organization, because IT systems are supporting business processes, IT systems are processing and providing the business information. Without information, the business is not able to operate. So the business impact analysis should be done at the operational level, and it could be done using the appropriate tools. The tools are called governance, risk management, compliance, GRC.
Mm-hmm. And can you give us a few examples of typical behavior or an atypical behavior that would just flag such an incident?
Oh, it's from the technology point of view, it's very easy. The system like Flowmon is looking at your computer and is learning what you are doing every day, with whom you are communicate, what protocols you are using, how often you are using these protocols, what time you are using the tools, and the system creates so-called profile of normal behavior. And after the process of learning, there is the process of detection. If there is significant change in your behavior, for example, at night, you are connected to somewhere, I don't know, in the US, in China, in Russian Federation, and you've never conducted this activity, the security analyst is alerted. There is the abnormal activity, there is the anomaly of the user behavior or the computer behavior, and look at it. And the analyst could see that your computer at night, for example 3 at night, connected to somewhere in Canada. So analyst can call you. My dear, could you please acknowledge that night, that time you connected to Canada or somewhere else? And you will say, I was sleeping that night. So who did it? The answer is clear, simple.
Does technology, and maybe like you mentioned, the Flowmon, does it also provide a tool for the user to say, okay, this is now an anomaly? I'm just thinking of myself. I work on projects, and they are for a limited time, and they are for different customers, and they're in different time zones. So for me, it could be a normal procedure, but for the machine it might be an anomaly.
The machine is smarter than we think. It's based on advanced mathematics, and it is not the way that we just switch on the Flowmon and we look at the results next minute. We need time. We need, for example, 3 weeks, 2 weeks at least. And during that time, the machine will know about you a lot, sometimes more than you think about. So the machine with, I will use the word advanced mathematics, can use this kind of algorithms to estimate if it is your behavior, because there is some trend in the behavior changes, or it is abnormal activity that should raise the alert, and appropriate people responsible for security should look at your computer. And this behavior definitely indicates that it was not you, that somebody else having access to your computer conducted this activity. And your role is only to admit, yes, it was not me, because I was sleeping, I was doing something else, or I've never used such tools, such activity.
So are we on the way to getting closer to a reality like it was portrayed in the Minority Report? Are the system that you described, are they like precogs, turning into precogs? But they're not.
Some people, some scientists see in artificial intelligence, because it is close to artificial intelligence, big danger for us. I think that at the moment, if we only use this technology for cyber criminals detection, if we do not if we do not integrate this kind of tools with the, let's say, counter-attack tools, I think that the risk is small that this kind of technology would be used for our harm. Because it's very easy to imagine that incident detection system that is purely based on artificial intelligence will detect the incident and automatically launch the attack against the opponent. And if the artificial intelligence would do it in an appropriate way, the attack would be conducted at the, for example, critical infrastructure of our country, and the power would be switched off, the hospitals would not work, the transportation would be blocked. So all the industries, especially critical infrastructure, depends on IT systems. So we could imagine the very bad scenario that artificial intelligence would do it in an not appropriate way. So the black scenario technically is possible, but I think that if we do it in a smart way, we can utilize this technology for our, let's say, good interest.